welcome to our place in Sicily where it's steamy hot. And today, as promised in one of our videos that just happened, I'm going to show you what's happening with electric and how electrical works here in our guest house. So let's go take a look. Okay, as I said, the electric is going in at the guest house and it's going in fast. I would say they have about 75% of it done in just 2 days. It's about 70 square meters, this apartment, building, guest house, whatever you want to call it. And it's very different than what we're used to in the US. So all the walls are either this brick, kind of a tile, kind of, I don't know what we call this in the US. We don't have this. So it's brick or stone. And some places where we have the stone, we left openings, and some places they have to cut it out. So let's take a look so you can see what it's like to work on your electrical. Now, I'm not working on the electrical, but I am overseeing it and making sure we get all of our American needs met by having enough outlets. I am sure that my electrician thinks I am crazy, and if he does, then I'm doing my job right. So let's take a look. Let's turn this around. All right, so the work consists of a lot of boxes in holes that have been reinforced here with cement. These might look different. If you've done renovation here, this is a special kind of box. We're going for a vintage look with our switches and outlets, but they basically just break through the brick to be able to pull through all of the wire hoses. You can see this was in the wrong spot. It got remarked, so now it's in the right spot. And that's where one of our sconces is going. So we walked through this. Igor asked us if we could walk through and check the things so far. And we, of course, said yes. But we didn't really understand what all the markings were. So I highly recommend you do the sort of first walkthrough with your electrician or with your geometra or with your architect, whoever's sort of manning the overseeing the electric, so you can know. So for example, they came in first and marked all the stuff in red paint and then came in with some corrections because we had met and have things tagged in brown. This is where our TV is going to go, so you can see all of our outlets and plugs there. And basically, we just went around. They've got where our LED is going to go, and they're marking where our switches are going to go. So some of these things are getting notched into the stone and reinforced walls, and some are getting added on top, because we will still be adding, I'm going to show you this sort of from the side if I can. This metal part here is the guide for where almost the top of that wall is going to go. So there's still some depth there that we have to hide wires in as well as we can put them up here so you can see we have tubes coming out of here. They're going to go along the wall because this whole wall is going to get built down a little bit so that those beams aren't showing. So let's go see what some other parts look like. So this is what I think is the most interesting. So the pink, by the way, is for internet, and the black is to run electrical, and they basically are running out the tubes that they will run the electrical wire through, and where they split off, like this one's going over to here, which is over to our kitchen area. They've marked out where our frigo is going, where our cucina or stove, our capo or hood is going up there. So we've got things all sort of marked here. And actually green is marked now because the plumber just came through. So I love this sort of railroad of electrical. It's really ingenious. So that is cemented down, and the idea is that the floor will be poured on top of that. but they'll be able to access and pull wires through those anywhere they need to. This is going to be something that's inside the closet. I'm not sure if there'll be an access panel there or not, but really just bringing everything to one part of the house and then moving it along. So again, going up, you can see they've notched out part of the wall, and then they're bringing out the wire for the chandelier over the bed. Again, branching off here and coming in. Now, what we did find out is sometimes the tube coming in is purely to bring the electric from one part and to go out to another. So that's one of the reasons we are having trouble judging where, if it was going to the right place or not, because I was like, there shouldn't be anything there. And we found out, oh no, that's just bringing the main electrical there and bringing it in. Again, we're seeing some more green marks here because the plumber just left with the architect and the builder. So I might as well show you that now too. So we have a toilet here and a hand hose. This is where the doccia, the shower, is going to go, doccia, and where our sink is going to go. And we've got plumbing coming in here, electrical coming in here. We're going to put in all of our vanities, we're going to try to put, if there's a drawer, an electrical outlet in the drawer for a hair dryer, and then where there is a medicine cabinet, we're trying to put 2 outlets in the medicine cabinet so we can charge razors or toothbrushes or etc. So let's see what else there is to show you with the electrical. Okay, back where we just were, where we have all of the tubes coming in, but now we're going into the little alcove so you can kind of see where it's going from start to finish here. So that one pink one has come off. This will get encased in the cement and the floor, but it will terminate here where you'll be able to plug in. This is a little alcove, but it could also be used as a little office if we wanted, and our different tubes are going up. So far, this is how our electric goes. Super quick. Again, you see where we've come in and the brown has been marked over the red. So they're going to mark up your walls. You need to figure out what that code is and adjust accordingly. Let me turn this back around. I'm going to give you some tips for when you're working on electric in your house. So for me, getting the electric and the plumbing right at this stage is the most important thing. We have built one house, not from scratch, but from a full gut renovation before this. And we've done a bathroom renovation, and we bought 2 spec houses that were formed, but we could have some say about where things go. And making changes now is the cheapest way to do it. Now, don't feel bad. You will make mistakes. You will think you need something there and nothing somewhere else, and then you'll wish you had a plug. So my tips first are walk through the space in your head. Hold it there and walk through. Think about using any appliances you might use, like a vacuum, a steamer, an iron, where you're going to iron if you're going to iron. No judgment if you don't iron. And think about where it would be handy to have a plug. So maybe it's not always where a table lamp is going to be, but it's going to be something you use once a week, twice a week. Think about if you put outside lights on. Do you want those switched, or do you want to always have to walk outside and unplug them? So think about those things. So just really walk through first and think about switches. Walk through and think about where you want your lights. Walk through and think about where you want your plugs. Do them as separate things, because you start to get distracted. And then you need to walk through your space. Of course, if you're doing something from far away, like a holiday house, that's a little harder, but I would say the time to schedule a visit is before they close the walls. In the US, we deal with drywall and sheetrock, which is not what we deal with here. We just deal with rock and brick. And it's a much different thing. I'm used to going in and seeing all of the wood set at 16 inches on center, and seeing the wire and being able to follow the wire up through and know, okay, that switch is wired to where that light is going to go. It's a little different here, but it's also nice because of them using these tubes. They can fix wires, they can pull out a whole wire. Our first apartment here in Sicily, there was an issue with the ground wire. They call it the earth wire. And we kept having shorts, and the power kept going off for the whole apartment, but nobody else's apartment. And so they could not find where this short was, but they were able to rewire the entire apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment, in like 2 days. And they only made one hole like this big. So it's a really interesting way that they do it. And even though they're going into rock and stuff, and you would think it would be harder, I think it might be easier. Because in the US, our wires then get hit with spray foam, insulation, stuff like that. So I think this is a very interesting way to do it. And it's a necessity because they don't have studs here. They do have studs in some, but not in the old houses. So anyways, those are my big tips to really walk through the space in your head, looking at a sheet, and think about those once a week things that you might not think of, or once a season things that you need. So you don't have to run an extension line if you don't need it. Even if you're never going to use it except for one time, it will pay in hassle and all that to walk through and get them in the right spots. And then 2, be there and walk through. We will probably walk through just this 70 square meter thing 3 times. We did a first walkthrough to make sure things were at the right height. Not everything was ready. We'll do another one when they think they have it all ready, and then I'm sure there'll be things missing. We'll think of new things, whatever, and then we'll do one more before they seal up the walls. Things can always be changed later, but it's more expensive and it throws off your schedule. So I hope this helps, whether you're in the US or in Australia or here in Sicily. And thanks for watching. And until next time, ciao, ciao.